Welcome to the Wealth Builders broadcast. Here we have real people sharing real stories and actionable steps to help you reinvent, recession-proof, and reboot your life. Hello there, I'm Sheila Mac, your host for this incredible journey of wealth and abundance manifestation. You may know me as the seller and buyer's agent with Keller Williams, Beverly Hills, or perhaps you have tuned into the Sheila Mac Show on NBC's KCAARadio. Or you may also know me as the author of Bootstraps and Bra Straps, the formula to go from rock bottom and back into action in any situation. Today, we embark on a new adventure together, right here on the Wealth Builders broadcast. Let's not dwell on me. This is all about you. In the comments, tell me where you are on your financial journey. What type of abundance are you seeking to bring into your life? What topics are you eager to explore during these challenging economic times? Your voice matters, and we're here to help you recession-proof your family and get you ahead even in these inflationary and kind of uncertain times. The mission of this broadcast is to help you take your power back with step-by-step realistic guidance from deciding what wealth means to you to creating your individualized strategic abundance plan. Our topics will go from the more spiritual side of manifesting onto the many roads people take to live their definition of financial and life freedom. For each, it is different. Wealth can mean more family time, a much-deserved vacation, or perhaps it's to take a year off to travel the world and find yourself. For some, wealth is simply having time to care for your health. And for many, it means finally owning a first home or knowing that the rent is always covered while still having enough time freedom to keep your first things first. Yes, there will be exclusive interviews with industry leaders as well as incredible people who have overcome tough times and created wealth for themselves and then gone on to create incredible programs to help others do the same. We've got it all covered. I firmly believe that together as a community we can create freedom and change our economy by supporting one small business, one family, one community at a time. This broadcast is about whole person and community wealth, not just about money or manifesting. It's really about achieving success as you define it. Let me share a bit about my journey with you. My journey began as I started out homeless from the age of 10 to 13 years young. Then I ended up in incredible diverse foster homes and group homes. I went out on my own and started college at the young age of 15, and by the age of 20, I owned my first residential property. Then, at 23 years young, I opened my first store while mentoring at-risk youth. Over 200 young adults went through my open source, fully funded training program, and then they graduated on to get the top jobs in the retail industry. One key to having success in any business is to make sure it has heart and find a way to give back to what you care about most. One of my most treasured and important positions that I've ever had is being a mom. I've raised 6 now grown children. 3 were fostered to adopt, and the other 3 biological children. So we had an incredible household, and I had to learn so much about time and money management. Oh, that's for sure. My kids taught me the wealth that comes from family time and from time freedom that all of us wish we had more of. I've earned degrees in business and marketing, studied real estate and urban development at USC, and trained with industry masters. My passion for property investment and business leadership has driven me to help clients across the nation, whether it's finding dream homes or creating wealth through real estate investments. But enough about me. It's time to focus on you and your wealth and abundance aspirations. Join us on the journey of growth and empowerment. Follow me on Instagram, share your thoughts and questions, and don't forget to visit SheilaMac.com for a special free bonus gift that changes monthly. This month, there is actually an exclusive free live virtual and recorded event that you can attend. So check out the free gift again at SheilaMac.com. Let's inspire one another, learn together, and build the wealth and success you deserve. Together we can make it happen. Welcome to the Wealth Builders broadcast. If you are just tuning in, this is NBC Sheila Mac Show here on KCAARadio, the station that leaves no listener behind. I'm your host, Sheila Mac, and I have some exciting and motivational news for you. That's right, just for you. So today we are talking all about motivation. What motivates each of us is so different, and it is as unique as each and every one of us are. So deciding what motivates you is incredibly important, and it will help you get through and break through your procrastination. It will help you get to your next level, and it may even help you to slow down, as crazy as that seems. Because when you realize what motivates you, then you'll realize what doesn't motivate you or what you don't need to be doing any more of. And many times we get stuck in busy work, distraction work. It could be distractions with family, friends, co-workers, people that really, not that you don't want to care for your people in your life, but some things may be better for you to say no to because it doesn't really motivate you or serve whoever you're spending time with if it's not aligned to what motivates you or what your goals or outcomes, desires are. So if you are looking to maybe get back into shape, it probably wouldn't motivate you as much to go eat out with friends if you really want that other goal and all your friends are eating out and they're eating junk food. That may not be the best thing, or if you're trying to or working on giving up drinking perhaps or cutting back, then it may not be the best thing to say yes to going out with the friends who drink all the time, because that's going to take you away from your goal or what motivates you, what your true outcome is, what you desire in your life. So sometimes saying no is the best thing. It's the best gift for you. And then that also lets your yes be yes. Let your yes be yes and your no, no. And so that really helps me for sure, knowing what motivates me. And I will be honest, in different stages in my life, there were different things that motivated me. As a young person on my own, really on my own at a very young age, certain things motivated me, like getting good grades in school because I wanted to get a good job one day, because I wanted to be able to be self-sufficient, because there wasn't anybody else to get my back and take care of me. So that was what motivated me to stay out of trouble. And it actually really blessed me as a young teen to really stay out of trouble. And then later on, I ended up having my own family. And what motivated me then was, gosh, I remember working so many long hours because I was very motivated to make sure that my children had the things that I didn't have growing up. So, nice clothes, healthy food, good place to live, and the proper schooling for each of my children. And some of my kids needed to be in different types of schools. I have 6, and so they had different learning styles. Some did far better in Montessori school. Others did very well in a Waldorf setting where it was more creative and hands-on, because that's how they learn best. And, one of my children just loved the structure in a Catholic school, which was really interesting. And we aren't Catholic, but she loved it. And so it just depends what motivates you. That motivated me for a very long time. And it's something that's super important. But at different stages in your life, you'll have different motivations. I got into real estate at a very young age, And I'm going to share all about that, how finding this book, Think and Grow Rich, motivated me at 8 years young. That's right, when I was only 8, I found that book. And that motivated me. First, what motivated me to buy a book with that kind of a title, Think and Grow Rich, was I was living with my mother who had divorced my father, and we were staying with relatives who were a bit abusive to her and to me. And so I saw this book, Think and Grow Rich, and what motivated me to buy the book at a yard sale, mind you, I was cleaning the neighbors' homes and dusting furniture to earn a little bit of money here and there, a couple dollars. And so I had my own money to buy this book for $2, under $2, no, $2.19. And so I bought it at the garage sale because it was, for me, rich was being able to help my mom get a home so that we wouldn't have that abuse. And that motivates me today still, and why I've always been in real estate as one of my main things that I do, because I am very motivated to help people to create the lifestyle they desire, to live the life of their dreams and find their happiness. And I believe that real estate is just one tool and method in which to invest properly and build wealth and fuel your dreams. So that is why I was motivated, and I'm still motivated today to be in that industry. That's something that's very near and dear to my heart. And so I'm going to get really into some of the real life stories later on the show about some of the things that have motivated me, and then also ways that you can find and tune into your own motivation. And you may be surprised, like I said, it could be the simplest things that would bring you the most happiness, that don't even cost that much money, that you can do today instead of waiting until you're rich, or waiting until you're richer, or waiting until you pay off your house or your car, or waiting until you retire, waiting. Just be able to go do that now. And of course, you're still working on other things, but at least you can enjoy life because you know what motivates you. So I'm going to get into all that later on the second half of today's show. Now, I also wanted to let you know that I will be, this show is going to be going on to all major podcasting channels. If you want to find me, you can look for Sheila Mac Show. And then it is also on YouTube at Sheila Mac Show. So I have a big ask if you are a regular listener tuning in. I would thank you so much, really love you and appreciate you all so much if you could go to YouTube to Sheila Mac Show and go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because I am working on building that channel out. And it just would mean the world to me if you do a like, share, comment. I will comment back if you have questions, if you have topics you want to hear more about. I'm happy to respond to you. That is the best, easiest way to reach me directly on a topic. And so I would love for you again to go to YouTube for Sheila Mac Show. And keep in mind, you can also find my show and listen in through the podcasting channels as well. And on YouTube, there's every single episode I've ever created, I have saved on YouTube at Sheila Mac Show. So that's where you can go back and see maybe a show that you really enjoyed, or you can look for a topic that's important to you. This show is talking about overcoming obstacles. It's about reinventing, rebuilding, and rebooting your business and your personal life on your terms. There is also quite a few episodes that give you real estate tips, that give you marketing tips. I've had some incredible guest speakers on the show. And one of them, we have a wonderful giveaway this month. And if you go to SheilaMac.com, you can see at the very top, there's an events menu. On the menu bar, there's a link that says events. Go there, and there you will get to join a free live recorded seminar. So you will get the recording of Jay Abraham and Roland Fraser's introduction to their new book. And basically, they're teaching some of the steps from the book, and that is about wealth without risk, how to create wealth without risk. That's their new book. It's already a bestseller, and it is an incredible book if you're looking to start a business, buy a business, sell a business, or just for marketing tips. Jay goes into incredible detail on the marketing side in the book, and Roland goes into a different side and aspect of buying or selling businesses, exit strategy, and creating extra wealth that way. And so combined, these two geniuses in their fields are just going to give you so much value, and it's completely free. And there's no pressure. Obviously, they're going to share about their book. You don't have to buy anything. It is a free gift to you, and that's at SheilaMac.com. If you want to go back and see the episode where I did an interview with Jay, you can also do that. And that interview is on my YouTube channel, Sheila Mac Show. If you look up Sheila Mac and Jay Abraham, there's a couple of interviews. I had the honor of interviewing Jay twice, and so this will be the one with Wealth Without Risk, his most recent interview with me. Okay, and so now I wanted to get back to motivation. So maybe a free gift motivates you, and that is your free gift for this month. So go to SheilaMac.com and get ready for some great note-taking today, all about motivation. Now, I am doing this collaboratively with John C. Morley, and so I'm going to share a little bit about what we're going to get into more detail on. First, John is going to share about what part of your brain controls motivation. So this is the scientific aspects, and this is going to be so helpful. So he's going to get into the prefrontal cortex and how this is connected to your motivation. It plays a big role in your decision making, reward anticipation, and evolving the potential outcomes and actions. Then second is dopamine pathways, and this will be about the role of the brain's reward system, which includes dopamine pathways. It's going to be pretty cool. Then he's going to get into the amygdala, the nucleus, the motivation and learning. This is going to talk about the connection between motivation and learning, and how motivated individuals tend to learn more effectively and remember information better. There's going to be motivations and goals or promise setting, how the brain processes and regulates motivation to achieve your goals. This formation and pursuit of goals are closely linked to the motivational process. We're going to get into the types of motivation, individual differences. This is going to explore how motivation can vary among individuals due to factors such as genetics, personality, and past experiences. So there is quite a bit that's going to be discussed. We have intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation, and that is the motivation from within, driven by personal satisfaction, and the extrinsic motivation is motivation from external rewards and punishments. There's going to be a little bit about motivation and our mental health, considering the impact of motivation on mental health. Low motivation can be a symptom of various mental health disorders, such as depression. And wow, get your vitamin levels checked as far as that goes, because there is a huge link between the low vitamin D levels and depression. So if you're working, maybe going to school, you're full-time working in school, you may not be getting enough of the vitamin sunshine. And so that might be something you need to test. If you usually are not depressed and you don't have anything that you're grieving or going through right now, and you feel lethargic and tired and depressed, then please check your vitamin levels, because that could be a huge thing. And I know believe it or not, it affects college students, young people that are working and going to school, working hard to get ahead. Can it be affected just as much as somebody that maybe you might think, okay, maybe a senior might have a lower vitamin D level. So it really varies. It could be anybody, and you would be surprised at who you may never suspect would have that. And so if you are having a young adult that's maybe even a young child teen that's going through lots of video games, going to school all day, not playing outside, parents, get over to the doctor and do that vitamin test and see if they have any low levels of vitamin D, because that we need some sunshine. So that's important. So motivation can have that physical, mental health, and it can also be a physical situation that's really important to know about. There's exercise helps you with motivation, prioritizing your well-being, setting achievable promises, listening to your favorite music. I mean, like literally, I could play my favorite song and it helps me clean. And I totally hate cleaning. It's just a thing. But I do it, but like it's like never been my favorite thing. It's like my least favorite thing. And so I'll put on some music and I'm fine. So there's different ways. There's also eating a balanced diet is actually a factor in how motivated you are and how energized you are and able to go ahead and work toward your goals and outcomes. So that's just a little list. And without further ado, just to remind you, I will be back in a little bit. I'm going to introduce John next. And after he shares more about motivation, we're going to come back to me and I am going to get deep into the details. And you'll want to have some pen and pencil available to get started, to find out some secret, wonderful ways to get yourself motivated to do all those things that maybe you've been procrastinating on. All right, so again, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to John C. Morley. John C. Morley is a polymath and passionate educator, inspiring self-discovery. John is a serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist, talk show host, member of the U.S. Press Agency, writer, video producer, and president of his local Chamber of Commerce, a 501c3. John has inspired children and adults of all ages to find their passion. Through his personality and knowledge, he gets people excited to learn about creations. Check out some of our fabulous special offers. So currently, John is actually offering a master class, and there is a special code JCM9KCAA that you can use to get a discount off the master class. And again, as you know, I am a lifestyle design and real estate coach. I do help people to use real estate investing as a tool to create the wealth and lifestyle they desire. You can learn more about me and get your free gift at SheilaMac.com. And now I welcome to the show, John C. Morley.
Well, hi, everyone. It's great to be back here on the show, collaborating with you once again. Sheila, thank you once again for a very warm and very special welcome. Hey, fans, if you are appreciating the content that I am putting into these shows, why not show me some love? You can scan the QR code, or perhaps you may want to reach out to me. I'm your podcast coach and also a host specializing in helping businesses tell a story that leads to them growing and being more scalable and profitable. Now, I typically work with companies that bring in 10 million or more, but I've worked with all sizes of podcast hosts growing their show, coming up with concepts. If you'd like to reach out to me directly, you can go to orbitalmediahub.com. Or you can call me at 973-291-6271, extension 108. That's 973-291-6271. I want to feel the love. I want to know that you guys appreciate the time that I put in, because I put a lot of time into creating these topics for this collab. So really do appreciate if you guys could show me some love, visit my channel. I know IFYL, which is one of my podcasts that I have with amazing guests. We have just hit another record. We have hit over 32,000 downloads. That means we just surpassed our last milestone, which is 30,000. Our next milestone, my other show as well, which you can all find from BelieveMeAchieve.com, Jay Moore Tech Talk Show. So we have some amazing guests on there. But let's go ahead and get started with our topic. So I do want to thank you, whether you are watching us live here or whether you're watching us on a replay, or if you are perhaps, tuning in to whether that's a radio show or whether that's the video. Do appreciate you being here, and that is motivation. Okay. What parts of the brain are responsible for motivation? Okay. Let's get into that. And then we have to talk about some other things which will help us understand that a little deeper. Now, keep in mind, this is only a half-hour collaboration. So to get a full benefit of this, you're going to want to visit BelieveMeAchieve.com and watch my daily motivational show, because each day I break down these things. That means every day out with the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is basically the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, and it's crucial in motivation. It plays a role in decision-making, reward anticipation, and evaluating the potential outcomes of action. So that means when you're going to do something, it's anticipating what the feeling, what the reward is going to be like before you even, let's say, lift a finger or even put your head in gear to start achieving. It's like, all right, I didn't achieve it today, so no problem. I will tell you that it can be very, very, but it doesn't just happen out of the gate. It doesn't just happen out of the gate. You have to put something into, okay? And you might be saying, John, how do you do that? Well, it's about, and so starting with this, I will tell you that the prefrontal cortex is very key, okay? Now, if you're still wondering, where do you find the prefrontal cortex? The medial cortex, which is right here. I'm pointing here. You guys can see around here. And then just above that, you have the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, and then you have the prefrontal cortex right above here. If you guys can see, so that's right about where the prefrontal cortex is, just before the ridge starts to get high. So you got the top of your head. So go down a little way, maybe like a little more than midway, and that's your prefrontal cortex. And it is very key, ladies and gentlemen, helping us motivate ourselves. Very, very. We have something called dopamine pathway. So you might be saying, what the heck is a dopamine pathway? We're going to get more into this in a second. It's a neurotransmitter that plays a major role in motivation. I'm going to tell you how the dopamine pathways work a little bit later. And I'm also going to share with you how you can increase the dopamine so that you can be more motivated. So there is the hypothalamus. It's responsible for regulating essential bodily function, and it's closely linked to motivation. It controls hunger, thirst, and other survival instincts, including arousal, etc. Tell you that if you understand the hypothalamus, you will be, and it's the main link between your endocrine system and your nervous system, and it keeps your body balanced and in a stable state of what they call homeostasis. The hypothalamus receives chemical messages from nerve cells in your brain and from nerve cells. So just like you have a smart control system that manages all the functions of your home, maybe it's your thermostat, etc., it keeps things at the right temperature. Well, the hypothalamus not only maintains your temperature, but it maintains operations of your autonomous nervous, your blood pressure, hunger and thirst, like we said, sense of fulfillment when eating, mood, sex drive, sleep, etc. And your hypothalamus performs many of these body balancing jobs either by directly influencing the autonomic nervous system or by managing the hormones. So we'll learn a little more about that as we progress, but I think you guys are affecting emotions and behaviors. So if you're wondering where is exact location, if we take the prefrontal cortex and we were to go all the way down, probably more than midway down, you will find the amygdala. And the amygdala is just probably about 10% before the end. It's actually just below the hypothalamus, which is, and when it comes to survival, your amygdala and limbic system are ready to defend and make sure that you don't get into any danger. They also play a role in behavior and emotional controlling and learning. So what does the amygdala do in short? Well, it handles things like aggression, learning through rewards and punishment, handling and using implicit or unconscious memory, remember and how to do things. Social communication, that's where we get our social cues, interpreting someone's intentions from how they talk versus how they're actually acting. Emotions that relate to parenting and caregiving, emotions that we connect to memories, and also learned behaviors, including but not limited to. So I think, understanding these parts of the brain is obviously very helpful to know how our brain, functions. So we have more. There is something called a nucleus accumbens. So it's a brain structure often referred to as the brain's reward center that plays a pivotal role in the experience of pleasure and motivation. So you might be asking me, hey, John, where is, and it's a good question, where is the nucleus? It's below, obviously below the hypothalamus, below the amygdala, probably about, I'd probably say maybe just a little bit way down. What does it do? So it's located in the basal forebrain, as I said. It's the major structure of the ventral striatum, area of the brain associated with the limbic system and regulating all limbic functions. So when we think of, and the mesolimbic dopamine pathway is stimulated during rewarding experiences. Well, we'll go into that a little more about how you can actually stimulate, your dopamine pathways to release and motivate. Okay, than we were. So there are connections between motivation and learning, because when we decide to learn, when we get motivated to learn, if we're curious about something, that can push us over the edge. Actually, learn that can give us that extra, let's say, nudge to commit that task or that memory to our memories long-term banks. And so motivated individuals will tend to learn more effectively and remember information better in less time. We've talked about this before. The more neural pathways that you create in your brain, motivation, a lot of people call it a lot of times, because a lot of people will set a goal and they're like, to do something. It's like, I have to do this. Like, I have to do this. So that's the difference. The brain processes and regulates motivation to achieve goals. Simple statement and discussion there. And the formation and pursuit of, again, they call it goals, but we have gotten very loose. So I like to substitute the word goals for promises. But in any text you look at, it says goals, because that's how it's been taught. But I know that we have a very loose connection to the word goals because, hey, doesn't happen, well, it's just a goal. We'll set another one. But hey, you don't want to, we had talked about this before, but now that we're talking about the brain, I think it's really relevant. So there are differences that can happen besides what you do in your life. They could be factors such as genetic, your specific personality, and even your past experiences that are stored in your memory bank. Now we have intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is things that compel us to do something that are inside. Let me give you an example. Okay. What is an example of intrinsic? So intrinsic motivation, a good example of that maybe a lot of you people can relate to: social status, fear of punishment, an award I'm going to receive. Okay. There are some overlaps between intrinsic and extrinsic. That could be academic achievement, because there could be an outside accolade or ceremony. Relationships, they can both be internal, because you'll feel a certain way. They also can have physical characteristics to them. Career successes can be internal and external. So a lot of people ask me, should I do internal, external? Intrinsic, playing cards because you enjoy the challenge. Extrinsic, playing cards to win money. Do you get the idea? When it's something inside your body, meditating because you enjoy the state that it puts you in internally, that could be intrinsic. But if we change that to mean extrinsic, because I like motivation because of what it does outside, it helps me achieve these things or manifest these things in our life. If we're talking about something physically tangible, we're talking extrinsic. Or if we're talking about something that can be noticed on the outside of our body, such as a reward, like even a pat on the back is actually extrinsic. Okay. 5 intrinsic motivations or autonomy, like I control things myself, mastery, progress, and even social interaction, to the point that it balances who we are. Okay. Fun, believe it or not, when you feel something, you go on a ride or an attraction because of the fun. Halloween is coming up, right? We go to haunted houses because we want that scare factor. We want to feel something. We go on a roller coaster because we want to feel something. We go to a party, though, for 2 different reasons. Because we want to feel something, but also an extrinsic factor. Maybe we want to eat. Maybe we want to have food or candy or cake or things like that. So that's extrinsic. So which is better? I think it's important to have both. We can't be propelled forward by just extrinsic factors, okay? So people may ask me all the time, extrinsic or intrinsic motivation. And contrary to what you might think, your top sales reps are likely to be intrinsically motivated by working and achieving their personal promise, even more than money. So money is an extrinsic factor, and the sales motivation factors are things that, will motivate them, like recognition, fulfillment, and the love of their job. Now, recognition, we got to be careful. Recognition can be intrinsic and extrinsic. If the recognition is something they're getting and they feel it internally, because this is a question that comes up a lot of times, is recognition intrinsic or extrinsic? And extrinsic recognition is motivated by desire for external validation, status, rewards, ego. And that's motivated by the desire for personal fulfillment and the sense of purpose. So what gets you to the extrinsic factor is internal, but oftentimes what happens for extrinsic is going to be intrinsic to get it going, like call you up, hand you a diploma, or whatever it is, or a certificate, right? So recognition is a very key part of human motivation. And again, there are two types of recognition, intrinsic and extrinsic. And I believe in our life, we need to balance that so we have a little bit of both in our lives. I think when we have balance, I think that really keeps us on one of these in more elaborate detail. So when we think about motivation and mental health, we have to consider the impact of motivation on mental health. Low motivation can be a symptom of various mental health disorders such as depression. And let's talk about a real key, a key player. Okay. These key players, ladies and gentlemen, are very important. One of them is going to be understanding neurotransmitters and their motivation. So we talked about neurotransmitters. It's kind of like that happy, the dopamine, the serotonin, in regulating motivation and mood. So one thing we could do to boost our dopamine, that happy gel in our brain and body, is to record your accomplishments, share your work with others, exercise often, put it into a schedule, prioritize your well-being. A lot of times people want us to do something because it's the best for them. I'm here to tell you that it's okay to be selfish so that you can have a life and realize that your time is just as important as the time you give others. I know, because many years ago, I'd always be, oh, I'll help you, I'll help you, I'll help you. But then I'm realizing, well, wait, I need to say no sometime, because when that is affecting my personal well-being, it could be my sleep, could be my energy, could be my time, and now I don't have time to do things I want to do for myself. When we listen to things like Tony Stark's productive music, it propels us. That's one of the things I love to do whenever I get writer's block, is I put his music on, or I also like to put on what I'll call some jazz music, at a cafe with some light rain and even some dishes clanking and people talking lightly in the background. As a we're going to want to check out my latest article. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm going to tell you it has a lot to do with AI and an upcoming holiday. That's all I'm going to share with you. And it's going to be something that'll unlock a lot of potential fun and potential for you coming up the end of this month. So listen to your favorite music. Let it put you into that mood. As I said, do things for you, not because you have to do them, but because you are important. I know we always talk about the other person's more important, but we have to realize that if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to help the other person. So let's balance our life. Let's make sure that we help ourselves, that we give ourselves the right sleep schedule, right? One of the things is also to fix your sleep schedule. And I know a lot of people that don't have a good sleep schedule because they're just running ragged. I know when that happens to me, I'm like, okay, I got to fix that. I got to figure out, why is this happening and how can I make it better? Do I need to get up early? Like, how do I get ahead? We've all gotten behind before. So we need to get ahead of the 8 ball. And once we get ahead, we realize that things are getting easier and easier and easier. Excite and hype yourself up. That is key. Excite and hype yourself up. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, eat a balanced diet. You are what you eat. The food you eat will control. It's important to understand that your life, okay, like something is always weighing you down, or you're not able to get things done because you're always helping others, or I was always staying up late because I was talking to this person, or I promised I'd volunteer. Now, there's nothing bad about volunteering, but when it wears you down, then you have to understand that you're not doing yourself a service and you're not having the bliss and enjoyment that life can offer you. Everything in life needs to be balanced. That's the key there, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, end of discussion. It has to be balanced. And if you can't do that, then I feel that you're going to be unhappy. All right. I feel that you will definitely be unhappy. So addiction and motivation. I know that, when I was 250 pounds and I went all the way down to like 160. Does that make sense? I know, like, I just had one thing in mind, had just that simple thing. And then I started doing some other stuff like basically, top, all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom, toes and all the way up, and then did some heel ups. And I would do this every time before I would take a shower, whether it's at night, whether it's in the morning, just anytime I would take a shower. And then I would also log everything I ate. And, it became addicting where I had to put down my food. I had to do my exercises, right? Another thing that makes this really interesting, it can really change your life, is something called neuroplasticity. Our brain can adapt and change. Did you know that? People say to me, John, what is neuroplasticity? Well, it's the capacity of our nervous system to modify itself functionally and structurally to change. I like to say that neuroplasticity is basically getting ourselves to push that envelope just a little bit further every single time. We have something called a RAS, or a reticular activating system, and I know we're almost at time, so I can't get into everything today that I had hoped. But I want to invite you guys to definitely check out believemeachieve.com, and please watch the rest of these episodes. I start on on Saturday of the previous week, and I roll all the way through today, Friday, if you're listening to this on Friday, depending on when you're listening to it. That's when I end, and a brand new topic starts on Saturday. So you can always catch these, because this show just has a real intro to what I go very in-depthly through. Sometimes I bring guests on. And so understanding that neuroplasticity is your ability to push that needle just a little bit further each time. And your body and brain are like, oh, okay, he can do that. She can do that. I'm going to allow that this time. I'm going to consider that the new norm. Evolutionary perspective, examining the evolutionary origin of motivations, and, knowing that it is about survival and things like that. I get it. But we have to sometimes push ourselves a little bit. I'm not saying a lot. Just push that envelope just a little bit further. And when we understand that we can regulate our motivation, okay, we have the power to regulate our motivation, then we can do things like work on stuff that neuroscience has taught us, like memory, pleasure, attention, mood, learning, and sleep. All those capacities. But I would say one of the biggest ones, beside exercise, beside food, good nutrition, is that curiosity, that desire to take what we have. You definitely know who I am. Being your podcast coach and specialist in helping businesses tell a story that leads to them growing and being more scalable, and a story for you that people will be captivated about, that they'll be talking about, that they'll become curious about. They'll ask more questions, and they'll want to do business with you. Again, reach out to me, 973-291-6271, extension 108. Or if you have a podcast and you're looking to get off the ground, or you need help with your existing podcast, reach out to me. We'll help you get good, loyal viewers, and we'll get you to have fun in the process. Because when you have fun, when you creatively play like I do, the money just comes. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Check out all my amazing content. And remember, start practicing neuroplasticity, and the world will become your oyster. Sheila, it's always a privilege and pleasure. I want to thank you. And I'm back to you to hear how you're going to tie this into real estate. I'm excited to watch.
Welcome to the Wealth Builders broadcast. Here we have real people sharing real stories and actionable steps to help you reinvent, recession-proof, and reboot your life. Hello there, I'm Sheila Mac, your host for this incredible journey of wealth and abundance manifestation. You may know me as the seller and buyer's agent with Keller Williams, Beverly Hills, or perhaps you have tuned into the Sheila Mac Show on NBC's KCAARadio. Or you may also know me as the author of Bootstraps and Bra Straps, the formula to go from rock bottom and back into action in any situation. Today, we embark on a new adventure together, right here on the Wealth Builders broadcast. Let's not dwell on me. This is all about you. In the comments, tell me where you are on your financial journey. What type of abundance are you seeking to bring into your life? What topics are you eager to explore during these challenging economic times? Your voice matters, and we're here to help you recession-proof your family and get you ahead even in these inflationary and kind of uncertain times. The mission of this broadcast is to help you take your power back with step-by-step realistic guidance from deciding what wealth means to you to creating your individualized strategic abundance plan. Our topics will go from the more spiritual side of manifesting onto the many roads people take to live their definition of financial and life freedom. For each, it is different. Wealth can mean more family time, a much-deserved vacation, or perhaps it's to take a year off to travel the world and find yourself. For some, wealth is simply having time to care for your health. And for many, it means finally owning a first home or knowing that the rent is always covered while still having enough time freedom to keep your first things first. Yes, there will be exclusive interviews with industry leaders as well as incredible people who have overcome tough times and created wealth for themselves and then gone on to create incredible programs to help others do the same. We've got it all covered. I firmly believe that together as a community, we can create freedom and change our economy by supporting one small business, one family, one community at a time. This broadcast is about whole person and community wealth, not just about money or manifesting. It's really about achieving success as you define it. Let me share a bit about my journey with you. My journey began as I started out homeless from the age of 10 to 13 years young. Then I ended up in incredible diverse foster homes and group homes. I went out on my own and started college at the young age of 15. And by the age of 20, I owned my first residential property. Then, at 23 years young, I opened my first store while mentoring at-risk youth. Over 200 young adults went through my open source, fully funded training program, and then they graduated on to get the top jobs in the retail industry. One key to having success in any business is to make sure it has heart and find a way to give back to what you care about most. One of my most treasured and important positions that I've ever had is being a mom. I've raised 6 now grown children. 3 were fostered to adopt, and the other 3 biological children. So we had an incredible household, and I had to learn so much about time and money management. Oh, that's for sure. My kids taught me the wealth that comes from family time and from time freedom that all of us wish we had more of. I've earned degrees in business and marketing, studied real estate and urban development at USC, and trained with industry masters. My passion for property investment and business leadership has driven me to help clients across the nation, whether it's finding dream homes or creating wealth through real estate investments. But enough about me. It's time to focus on you and your wealth and abundance aspirations. Join us on the journey of growth and empowerment. Follow me on Instagram, share your thoughts and questions, and don't forget to visit SheilaMac.com for a special free bonus gift that changes monthly. This month, there is actually an exclusive free live virtual and recorded event that you can attend. So check out the free gift again at SheilaMac.com. Let's inspire one another, learn together, and build the wealth and success you deserve. Together we can make it happen. Welcome to the Wealth Builders broadcast. All right, and thank you again for tuning in. John, thank you for sharing about motivation from the scientific perspective. And now I'm going to continue the conversation here. Motivation, what motivates each of us is different and is as unique as we are. Deciding what motivates you is crucial toward your success. Okay, so let's get into it. The first thing that I think will really help you from what I've experienced and had in my own life and with the clients that I have coached both my real estate team leaders and team, as well as my private clients that I work with as far as for lifestyle design, and also even my small business teams that I've worked with. Motivation is so important if you are not only for yourself, but you could be anything, any title, I should say, whether you're trying to motivate yourself or maybe you and your spouse, maybe, or relationship, where you want to stay in a positive state and enjoy motivation toward just keeping your house together or your relationship going. And so there could be some fun things in that realm. One of the things on the relationship aspect, just getting into that, I do have an entire chapter about relationships in my best-selling book, Bootstraps and Bra Straps, the formula that go from rock bottom back into action in any situation. And here we talk about relationships. The title of the chapter is called Shift or Get Off the Pot. And it's all about should you stay or go and how you can renew and rebuild your loving relationship if maybe it's getting a little boring or things haven't been working out. There are some incredible suggestions and things that have worked very well with the clients that I've worked with and with many relationships. So you might want to grab that book. It is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and wherever fine books are sold. It is a book about life and how to create your life on your terms, especially if you are reorganizing and reinventing pieces of your life. So for the relationship motivation, I love to play games, and I think it's really fun. Literally get a basket, a box, a hat, and you write out different things. So it could be, let's say that you're both working and you struggle with getting all the chores at home done. And it takes away from your love life and your fun. And so it may be that you set a goal to go ahead and put some money into, maybe instead of the fancier dates, into having housekeeping, or once a month, twice a month, or you could go to the realm of just, hey, I'm just going to have a quote just for a couple hours for somebody to come in and help with the housekeeping and just do the main areas. Just do the kitchens, the kitchen. We usually don't have more than one. The kitchen and the bathrooms. Just the main areas that you want really disinfected, like cleaned really well. And then maybe do a load of laundry or something. And that could be super helpful, even if it's just once a month. If you are in a relationship and then you have new children, babies coming into your life, it gets a lot. There's a lot to do. And the love life gets put on the back burner. So that is one way to motivate. And then also, if you do need to roll up your sleeves and do the work yourselves, make it fun. Make it a game where maybe you don't want to always do the same chores. Put the chores in a hat and a basket. And with each chore that gets done, then you have some type of thing where you also pick from another basket, or you could connect the chore to a surprise or reward. It could be some fun thing, silly thing, romantic thing, whatever is your love language kind of thing that you can do. And it's kind of like a motivational way to get things done. It might be that you do like me and rock out to loud music while you're cleaning and dance around the house, whatever it is. And it could just be maybe you're not going out on enough dates, and so you could have or you might be struggling with, hey, one person in this relationship always gets to win. We always do what they want to do, and so it may be that you just write out things you both like to do or that you're willing to do with each other. It could be going to a sports game and then going shopping at the mall, or it could be going to a concert. and going on a vacation, and you can write these things out, and you can have one basket, jar, box, whatever, that has the more affordable, like every day, every week kind of things. And then you might have a larger one that's a special for like when you've got some extra funds coming in, or that you save for where you're doing like a more extravagant weekend away. And then it could be here to there or here, whatever. You like one, your partner likes the other. And so that way you make it exciting and fun and spontaneous. And that really keeps the relationship going. If you're parents and you're listening in, that's another motivational way to help your kids get their homework done, get something around the house done, and then they get a reward. And it could be simple, like going to the park or going to play with their friends, or whatever it is that works for you and your family. You all agree on what these things are, but it just makes it exciting. And you're like, I wonder what I'm going to get today. I wonder what I'm going to get to do. And so that's just, it's like we're playing a game with ourselves. John got into a lot of the psychology and the science behind motivation. So I like to keep it fun. And fun when we go into teamwork, team building, working with clients, and with a team that serves your clients. If you are a business leader, a team leader, I am a team leader. I have a team of real estate agents that I work with, that I've handpicked, that I work with to help people to find their next property investment with ease. And so how do I motivate the team? Well, we do lots of fun things. We have our daily practice, we have our meetings, we have trainings, and we have our key performance indicators. So we track our sales, how many people we've talked to, what are we doing? And so tracking things is really important. But I think the most important thing when you're trying to motivate your team or your work group, if you're the manager, leader, owner, small business owner, I think the most important thing is making it fun. We have to go to work or run this business or whatever you do for, 6 to 8 hours a day on average, and sometimes more. So, it's kind of nice to at least have some fun moments weaved into the day, some fun things that just bring life to going to work, that bring community, especially in these wild and crazy times. This is some times that we're going through, I'm not going to lie. And if you don't know and you don't want to hear about the news, I won't get into all the details, but if you know, you know. And most of us are aware that things are difficult right now, or interesting economically, and we have lots of different war situations and things going on. So I do pray for all the people everywhere. My personal belief, my prayer and intention is for peace. I do support our troops, and I do pray for peace and for all the innocent people that are getting dragged into this situation from all sides, from each side of the country. They have no control, and their lives are in danger right now. And so I just hope and pray for peace and safety for all. That's my take on it. And that's where I'm at, for all the children and innocent people out there that are just happen to live where they live, where there's some unrest and things going on that's not so good. So this is a time when there's a lot of serious stuff going on our planet. And there's the financial crunch of inflation. And if you haven't noticed inflation, then good for you. But most of us have. If you've gone to the grocery store, or you go to eat out, or you do just about anything, it costs about 2.5 times more for our groceries today than it did in 2021. Literally, there's studies on this, and that's a lot. And most people aren't making 2.5 to 3 times more than they were making in 2021. So that's a thing. And we are getting into the holiday season, whatever holidays, if you celebrate any holidays. And there's a little bit more stress that can come in. So what motivates you and your family that's fun, or ways to create gifts that may be not attached to just a monetary thing? And that's where this game that I do, and these ideas really kick in too, because you can make certificates for your spouse, your partner, where it's something romantic or fun, or and very affordable. These things don't have to cost a lot. It could be something for your children, maybe if your parents, where you're going to give them a sugar day. Or maybe it's something healthier. Maybe it's you're going to take them to just go to the batting cages, or go to some kind of a sightseeing place that's free or very low cost. It many times, really, when you look back on your own life, for those listening in who've had children, or just your own childhood, think back to, gosh, what really mattered most was the time you rode bikes, or the time you played at the park with your family, or the time you went on a family picnic, and so it may be that you cut back on the extra gifts. There's a lot of times where you want to just put some extra gifts under that tree, or if you do that holiday, or whatever holiday you celebrate, and it may be that you just keep it to the main things, or maybe the adults agree that if you have siblings that are grown, and you may agree to not do the adult gifts as much because you want to do the kids, or whatever, however you want to do that. But those conversations are important. It may be friends that you exchange with, and during our economic interesting times with high interest rates and high inflation, it may be a real gift to agree, hey, okay, let's have a gift exchange. Could be gift exchange at work, Secret Santa, whatever you do, and just have an agreement to keep it at a certain budget, where it's $5, $10, something low that nobody, and there's options. Or maybe you just skip it for certain people that are good with that, because that's going to take the pressure off, and people will be grateful for that. I mean, bake some bread, or some kind of something, and bring that. Bake some cookies. Make it easy. Don't overspend this holiday on stuff that's going to make you be paying and in deeper debt next year, because that's not going to be very motivational, and it's not going to probably get you to your goals anytime or any sooner. So that's important. Now, like I said, some of the happiest things for me, what really motivates me to do this show, to have clients in the real estate industry and help so many people in that realm, is I love the fact that I have used real estate investing as a key tool to live the life of my dreams, and to be able to have family time, to be able to travel the world when I wanted to do that. I did that full time for like 7 years. I got to learn with the masters in the industry. I mean, I got to go to Dr. Wayne Dyer's events, and Tony Robbins, all his events, and Donnie Epstein, a spiritual healer's events. I got to go to India and study with the monks and learn about meditation. I got to go to learn about all different types of religions and spirituality. I got to, oh my gosh, so many different things that I never thought I'd do. Meeting people from all over the planet. I remember going to London and having friends from a group called the Yes Group there that does a lot of Tony Robbins inspired events of their own to continue the process of his teachings. And oh my gosh, I just had a blast. I got to stay with a friend that was from London, and she took me on the tube, and she showed me all the locals, like all the stuff that, not a tourist would get, but like this is what life really is like in London. And I have so many friends that I love there. A lot of them have been on the show. In fact, the friend I'm talking about was on the show, and her name is Marilyn Devonish. So you can go to Sheila Mac show, and she was actually one of the first people I interviewed on this station, and she's an incredible lady. So you can look her up, and she was in a chapter in a book with Dr. Wayne Dyer. So that she's a really cool lady, and if you look up that interview, it is on Sheila Mac show on YouTube. Go there, please subscribe and like. I would love you for that. And so that's, to me, that was what motivated me at that time, and that's what motivates me to help other people, because I like to do strategy sessions to see how you can reinvent your life and create the life of your dreams now, instead of waiting for that time when you're retired, or waiting for finally you pay off the bills and you're finally going to pay off your house, or whatever it is. I want to help you to use real estate as a tool to be able to do that in 1/2, 1/3 the time, and to actually also find what motivates you and start living your happiest, best life on your terms, meaning that you, each and every one of us, are as unique as the stars. And what motivates one person is going to be completely different than what motivates another. I have great friends that love, love, love to go to sports games. That wouldn't motivate me. I mean, I enjoy sports, but not that much. And so their thing is a sweetest couple, and they go see all the sports games. And that's what motivates them. And they both love it, and they have a blast, and they do that lifestyle. I have another friend who loves to just go dancing, and her husband dance. And every time I see them, they're dancing. And that's what motivates them. Other people hate dancing. I personally love dancing. I take some dance classes. I've learned so many different things in dance now, and I still love it. There's people who love to go eat out, and they call them foodies, and you may be a foodie. You might be listening to this right now and driving in your car and thinking about getting some food. And that may motivate you. There's other people that are gym rats, they say, and they love to exercise and work out, and they go every day, and I'm closer to that. I love to do that too. It gives me energy. It motivates me. It is like me fulfilling a promise to myself to take care of me. And it's something getting into my background a little bit, which some of you know. Gosh, as a young girl, I was swimming every day. And it started with a field trip in 2nd grade. I don't know how, I think, what are you, 8, 7, 8, 9, something like that. And gosh, it was a summer school, 2nd grade. And so I was the youngest in the class, and we went to the beach. And I had learned to play in the pool and do the dog paddle kind of thing in the wading pool and a relative's pool once in a while. So I really didn't know how to swim all that well. And I was floating around with the kids in the shallow water, and the tide carried me out to where the boats were. And I was missing. They had the police looking for me, and I didn't get back to shore. I don't know. It was a blessing, God, source, faith, whatever that was, universe that carried me, I don't know, somehow I wanted to live, I guess, and I paddled my way and figured my way out to get back to shore. And I was, my family took me right out of that school. They were very upset because, I could have died, obviously. And I just remember finally getting to sand miles away from where the class had been because of the water carrying me so far and trying to get back. And somebody had left a towel and a can of like Coke. And I literally I was so dehydrated. I just went to it. I didn't ask permission. I didn't see anybody. It was just like sitting there. And so I literally just opened that can. It was warm Coke, and I drank it and passed out. I was sunburned terribly, and the police found me passed out. And it was already dark when they found me. And that's when my family decided that it was worth putting me in swimming lessons. And that has been a passion that's motivated me my entire life. I love to go swimming. It's one of my favorite things to do, and it costs like nothing, very little. I mean, I have a gym, couple gyms I'm a member of that all have pools, and so I'm able to go swimming often, and that motivates me. And it's a promise to myself. I would swim hours and hours and hours. I even got into the pre-junior Olympics on swimming. So I was a good swimmer after that and some lessons. And sometimes what motivates you, think back to maybe some things that you stopped doing. Did you stop swimming or playing sports or exercising or whatever that is? Maybe it's crochet or knitting or art. Whatever that passion is, we work so hard that you need to reward yourself. And it doesn't, in this economy, it doesn't have to be a shiny new blingy thing. It can be something as simple as a walk, going swimming, going horseback riding, whatever it is for you, playing a sport. It could be, instead of going out to dinner, you make a fancy dinner at home together. So there's so many different ways to bring your lifestyle to alignment with who you want to become, who you're being in all you're doing. And there's a poem that I learned when I was teaching school many years ago. And it's by Christina Rossetti. It's work while you work, play while you play. This is the way to be happy each day. Whatever you do, do with your might. Things done in halves are never done right. So as much as you work, make sure you schedule in play. That's going to be good for your children. I mean, play with your children. Have that time because they're going to grow up. Do some fun things. Take your date night. Go visit and have some fun with your parents that might be aging at this point in your life. Go have some fun with them. Go play with them. Go do fun things. And this will keep you motivated. And that work while you work, play while you play is a reminder that, I mean, I don't know if there's balance in life, but it just gives you joy. And your joy, it's your definition. So you do what you do. You go do what really motivates you. If you are in the market to buy or sell your home, or looking for commercial buildings, or maybe a 1031 exchange, even if you're a first-time home buyer, I would love to represent you. I am a licensed real estate agent. I work at Keller Williams, Beverly Hills, and I also work in Las Vegas area, but I have an entire team of qualified agents. So I work with you all the way through. I work with some referral agents. So if you're in a different state or area, they are my hand-picked agents, and they will be your referral agent if you're not in my area. However, I will continue to review with you and coach you through parts of it as you get your listing, as you get your home. I also have incredible mortgage people that I work with to help you. It may be that you're looking for something 6 months from now. So now's the time to get your credit in check. The mortgage people I work with, help to find the best deals. There's no money down or low money down. There's first-time home buyers. There's a lot of special deals that they know about, and they also help with credit repair. And that's going to help you to get the best deal you can. So now's the time to start preparing for it. If you are selling your home, we're in a buyer's market. So be prepared for that. And I promise you, if you're going to go to buy again, you're going to make the money back in the buy because the prices keep going down. And so when you sell, and you might have to drop your price a little bit, that's going to come back to you on the buy side. So just because it's a buyer's market doesn't mean it's not going to work out for you. And it is a good time still. And if you want to move, I want you to think about what motivates you to stay and what would motivate you to move. You may want to relocate. I love working with people when they can realize, oh my gosh, I can live the life I want. I can sell my home, get my equity, either rent or buy a smaller place or move to a different area because they don't have to work anymore or their work is now from home, and they can live their entire life the way they want right now instead of waiting. Oh, that's my favorite. So you might want to schedule a call with me. And you can do so by going to my website and do the contact me form. And that's at SheilaMac.com. Now remember, there is a special free gift each month. I have a new gift. And so this month, we're almost to the end of October, if you can believe it. So this month, the free gift is a very special gift. It is a online live webinar that was recorded with Jay Abraham and Roland Frazier. Jay Abraham is an incredible marketing genius, and Roland Frazier is incredible with business, marketing, buying and real estate. And so when you read this book, the book is called Wealth Without Risk. It goes into different ways to buy or sell your business or to grow a business. So if you're looking to start a side gig or a business, this is a good book for you as well. And the webinar is actually Roland and Jay live recording of their live that goes into the details and top secrets. So it gives you so much value. It's completely free. Yes, they're going to say, hey, buy the book. Which you can do or not do, but that webinar will be a free gift to you. And also, if you go to SheilaMac.com, you can find that free event link. That's your gift for this month. Just go to the event link in the menu, and there you'll get your free gift. Now, beyond that, I also did an incredible interview with the legendary Jay Abraham, and this was a pre-launch interview before the book came out. So you can find that recording on YouTube at Sheila Mac Show. All right, so I look forward to seeing you again. And you can look for the Sheila Mac Show here and then also on all major podcasting channels, as well as I would love you and thank you so much if you could go to my YouTube and subscribe to Sheila Mac Show. All right, see you next week.